We have a motion to accept the minutes.
Seconded.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? I think so, all right, unanimous. All right, so, I wanted to review something I learned since our last meeting, and it was great that the light bulb finally went on over my head and I realized what was going on. So we have a CPC in town. Does everybody know? Okay, so it's the Community Preservation Committee. I was on it. Mike is currently on it. The town agreed many years ago to increase the tax rate by 3%. And the state roughly matches that, okay? So we can do that, use that money to do projects like fund APRs. The cemetery has done some stuff. The Hurley has had a large number of improvements. The hiking trails out there out of the center of town were funded, partially by the CPC. So the town likes to use that pool of money to fund the local match for APRs. And so in Whately, if somebody does do an APR and we have one in process, the loss of value of the land is 95% paid for by the state and 5% for the town. It's the least amount the town can possibly contribute. And so somebody has to apply to the CPC for the money. And it's sort of understood in Whately that the Ag Commission does this on behalf of the applicant. I didn't know this. And no other, the Historical Commission doesn't apply for funds on behalf of someone doing a historic renovation. So it's kind of an unusual relationship. And what had happened was when we first started funding APRs this way, a lot of the applicants were older farmers who didn't have email, they didn't have computers, they really couldn't manage it very well themselves. And so Margaret Christie took on that role and did the applications, and they were coming 2 or 3 a year. Right? I mean, back in the heyday.
In the beginning, yes.
Yeah, and then, they slowed down to a trickle. And I think the people who are doing the APR applications by and large now can manage it themselves. It's relatively easy.
Well, if they need help with board.
Well, and so, I did Mark Olszewski's. I brought it here. I thought we could, if anybody wants to look at what it looks like. This is not the APR application. It's just the application to the CPC for the local match. And it's, in this case, it's $11,750. And we could, we should look at the piece of land and whatnot, but my feeling going forward is that the relationship should be different in that we would help with the applicants, but really the applicant should be the one who's applying for the money. That's what I think. I don't know. Anybody else? Does everybody understand kind of where I'm coming from?
How would we help just with describing, like answering the questions on the application?
I think answering questions about the application, maybe if someone who is applying works out of town, can't get here to get physical copies of maps they need or something. But really, once you've applied to the MDR, to the state for the APR, you've got all the documents. And really, what I did was have them send me the documents. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I filled this out, I came and saw Amy and we printed out a couple of maps. But it's like, you already applied to the state, you've done all the work. It's kind of like just shuffle the papers and hand it to the CPC. So I think our relationship should be more that we would help, in any way we need to. But the application should sort of come from the applicant. So I might, if that sounds like a better relationship.
Well, the applicants got all the skin in the game,
Yeah,
and so, we can assist, we can, but,
I mean, even to the extent of doing the whole application for someone who could not do it. But But I think it, instead of, you know, literally, it's my name here applying. It's Margaret Christie always put her own name there, you know, so I put mine. It just doesn't feel right.
It seems
You're not playing.
Yeah, so, but I did Mark's and I reviewed it with him. You know, we could look at it here, I had extra copies of this map. It's that around. I'll need that back, but. This is the land directly across from Hurley Field. Ralph Olszewski lived in the house, was a green ranch and they just put siding on it. Now I can't remember what color.
So the land's behind the house.
Yeah, and the land is right directly behind the house. It connects some other APR lands and was, you know, much larger chunk.
How much acreage?
I think it was 19 tillable, maybe 31 total.
Mm-hmm.
Long skinny piece, as they are right there. And I think it was appraised at about 450 with the development rights and 220 without. So they figured loss of value was 235. And
It kind of goes by like what, like if he were to sell it for building lots, what can you possibly get? Or
yeah,
what is the frontage you need down here? Is there,
so 175.
I think it's 200.
It's 200,
I wonder where I am.
200 in Whately everywhere, isn't it?
Okay, I have a flag lot. A
Yes, you got
grandfathered flag.
250.
So it's two, I think I have.
Yeah, you got a 50 for a flag.
So yeah, it's kind of like the more frontage you have, if there were potential for commercial development, that's, you know, maybe even more.
Or very dark.
Yeah, yeah, but there is a cap per acre, and I don't remember what it is, so there's sort of, might be $15,000 is the maximum.
And how many years does he want to put it in?
It's forever.
Forever?
It's done, it's a forever deal. And it was his father's wishes. They tried to get it done, they considered trying to get it done before. They did, so. Yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of a slam dunk on the CPC, I'm sure they'll fund it, but I'm just gonna sign off on this on behalf of the AgCom. They'll be able to review it in time for their November meeting. And then I can make any additional, you know, if they need any more info or anything, we can get it to them in time for the December deadline. So Amy, when people hand these off, do they just bring them to you? Okay,
Yep, and then I timestamp them. and
okay,
then I give them to other people.
okay, so the CPC meeting Wednesday,
Okay,
so this would just get like emailed to them. By you, or do I, should
the
I?
meeting got bumped to next Wednesday.
Oh, it did,
CPC, yeah,
okay.
there's a special town meeting. Yeah, we have a town meeting on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay, so this is actually, I don't even need to hand that to Al, or. We'll get that in our time. Okay, so anyway, that's what I was thinking about the APR relationship that we have, where we should go. So the garden, so I got next on the agenda here, we got the garden update at the school. There was, you know, we've been talking about trying to renovate the garden at the elementary school. It's in pretty tough shape. I went to, there was a walkthrough that the pollinator committee did of the 3 sites in town where they're thinking of doing pollinator friendly landscaping. And nobody showed up here at the town hall.
Sorry.
And I didn't make that one myself, and then it was me and 2 other people at the library, and it was actually very contentious. And then I was the only one that went to the school. And so, I don't know,
We have another fun thing happening on
Thursday here.
Yeah.
At 6, I think.
Yes.
Is the last meeting of this pollinator landscaping effort. I think the final designs that are being proposed for the town will be handed out. I have copies here.
it was contentious between three people,
Right, like I want to.
between two people.
Yeah,
Yeah, is there like,
get that one going this way, keep that, these are just, I think there is.
this seems something pretty interesting to be contentious about. you know,
Well,
like,
some people think it's too much and too big and see. The plantings and the installation of all this landscaping have not been funded. This is just for the design. And it was like $180,000.
Yep.
For the design,
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
is that for all three or just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the designs, and you know, I mean, there were some events that happened at the school and. You know, there was a local match of like, I think $8,000. These numbers ring a bell with you? No,
I don't know any of the funding.
oh.
I wasn't part of that conversation.
Okay.
That was when, Rusty Burton and all that.
Yeah.
That wasn't passed on. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. But so anyway, it was, I might not be remembering, but it's, you know, it was a kind of, I think there's some feeling in town, like a large amount of money got spent. On designs. And
Yeah,
some people didn't get. Sort of asked to participate. And
interesting.
Yeah.
$180,000 seems like a lot for a pollinator garden.
now that I'm saying that, it might have been 80.
Still seems like a outrageous amount of money
And
on
I
a
think
pollinator
the
garden.
local match was 8.
Yeah,
And I don't know how the local match,
No,
maybe 8 total.
well, I'd see 8 seems about right to me, you know?
Yeah.
And, but if you know, it's kind of like how Eastern Mass money flows to Western Mass.
Yeah.
You know, so now I think these designs will be presented, on Thursday here at 6 o'clock. This is more or less what they're gonna look like.
they're looking for input, so if anybody has any input.
If anybody would like to film, yep.
Their biggest issue is that they're not getting any.
Great.
On the design.
Yeah.
I think I may have been the only one who's made all the meetings. And literally there was no one at the. Except the pitchfork and.
What day was that? Was it Friday?
I don't remember what day of the week it was, maybe it was a Friday at 3.
Cause I wasn't here.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
So, there's an opportunity to see that on Thursday. And, I don't know, so what I was kind of thinking, so one of those is the, school garden, right? The school proposal.
Yep.
He has, you know, he has a garden in there at more or less where it sits now. So the current garden is gonna get renovated as part of this, if it happens, this is not funded. So, but it might take 2 or 3 years, so I kind of want to go in the spring. And see if we could, you know, maybe there's some money the school could kick in, maybe, you know, I don't know what the sources of funding are. But the school has access to, you know, to lots of different things, lots of.
Yeah, like this was all supposed to be grant.
The pollinator. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, except there is a local
Well,
match.
well, besides the local match, but you were talking about just the design, but like the plantings and everything. It's supposed to be grant.
Yeah, so this will trigger another
Yeah.
search for, yeah.
I just don't want people to think like, okay, we spent all this money on the design and now the town has to pay for the whole.
Right.
Right.
All the trees and
Right,
bushes.
that's not the scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think, you know, there can even be grant funding for maintenance costs and things like that.
Right.
yeah, that's what,
For like, I think 2 years after the installation.
yes.
Largely, so, you know, there's lots
First
of,
year.
that's a good reminder, and that's something that's part of the kind of public outreach, the education that has to happen. In fact, I found that confusing initially too. It's easy to like make the assumption, but yeah, that's right.
Probably 15 years ago, that spot on the, up at the school. One class and myself, we planted a strawberry
Okay.
block, yeah. And then, I made sure they got mulch,
Mhm.
and, then they ate strawberries the following June.
Yeah,
It was almost too late because they were getting out of school.
right.
But anyway, it was in the same spot as it appears that this is on that map.
Yes, yep. There's the remnants of some raised beds and there's a row of raspberries. Which are, there's as many oak trees as there are raspberries in the row. That's an exaggeration. But I'm kind of imagining, redoing the raised beds. Planting maybe a couple apple trees, some high bush blueberries, some real late ones. For September, and then go back, if such a thing exists. And I'd like to redo the row of raspberries too, kind of renovate the one that's there as much as possible and then maybe.
Well, if it's been that long, it's probably time to take it out.
Yeah, yeah, I think maybe if they could get one more year out of it as the new ones matured, but. So I'm hoping to talk now to like Teresa Carter and Megan and Chrissy Curtin there at the school. Maybe see if, in the spring. Group of people could get together and make that happen.
The biggest drawback was that, so when my kiddos were there, we had the garden running. The biggest problem is, like you said, everything was ready while the kids were gone. So we had to rely on families that would say, yeah, I'll go this week and this week and this week and meet and pick, but then it's like you have all this food. And nobody's doing it.
Summer vacation's not at a great time.
That was the biggest problem.
Right, right. Well, I can imagine, trying to do some real early stuff there and then, kind of.
Maybe some squashes or something. Are you ready?
I know I've heard of like kid garden projects. They do like pizza gardens and they try to grow all tomatoes and oregano and peppers or whatever. But I think it's kind of like I think we need to ask, or I want to ask, what do you want? And then how can we fund it?
But it almost seems like gonna have to be a leader who makes these final decisions and is in the supervisory role of getting it done.
Yeah,
And
and I think I'll take that on. I feel like, the next step is to really ask those people, how do you want us to
yeah,
proceed?
okay,
And then, what small budget, a few $100, $500. To get it all done, and then, go look for source of plant material. And just, make it nice. I can remember they used to have a janitor. Do you remember Andy, the janitor there?
Yeah.
He, I had a beer with him at Mike's Westview. Now they call it something else now, the Heart. And, when my kids were there actually, and I remember him saying how you could tell when when the place was really clean, the kids, he said, he felt like the kids could tell and they took pride, in the fact that this, nobody half-assed cleaning anything in the school. And I just kind of looked, it made me sad when I saw the garden there, because it just looks terrible. Like, same kids are like, looking at the garden and thinking, who cares about their garden?
Well, it's like, I think there's not a lot of leadership with the garden, like you're saying, is like, there's gotta be like maybe somebody who's kind of more like. Or it's like a separate class or something that is more everyday involved with it. Cause like they do love picking like the raspberries and stuff. She comes home and tells me they did this or that in the garden, and other little projects out there, but. If it was more of like, oh, we're gonna go see like your phys ed teacher almost, or a garden teacher. Or maybe but like, and also during school time, it's hard to have one, it's hard to do anything in the garden, but I didn't know if maybe like having a little greenhouse, a mini greenhouse,
Yeah.
so that season could be extended, just like a small little, I almost bought one, they're like, they could start seeds or something, or when they're starting to get towards springtime, maybe February.
Geez, that's a great idea.
You can make
I mean, I've got plenty of extra bows kicking around. It wouldn't be hard to put up a small little
4 or 5.
funnel there.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's something they'd want, but
Yeah,
That's just another layer of management, running a greenhouse versus something out in the garden.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So
somebody's got.
someone's gonna have to be the
Right.
fearless leader
Because
to,
all the teachers have so much else to do.
Yeah.
So
in
they
this
try to-
case, there was a class where the teacher was really interested. And that's why her kids were
Yeah.
involved in getting the thing planted, but it was that ingredient of.
Yeah,
I think there are this, I can't remember the name of the organization. It's like Farm to School, with a Teresa and Megan sort of represented at the last meeting.
yeah,
I think they have sort of access to some standard programming and maybe even people do that kind of interaction with the kids.
Yeah.
So, neither of them could come tonight, but I think they'll stay, as part of the conversation. And I wanna loop, the principal of the school in, or if not the principal, then whoever the contact person is. Just to kind of be part of the discussion, but I'm kind of looking forward to taking that next step. See what they want.
it's very exciting.
So if anybody brainstorms any good ideas to, how to proceed there. The other thing we had talked about and was high on their list of priorities was kind of a field trip day to towns, to farms in town. Which will take a lot more, planning from different people to make that happen, but. That was something they were wanting to do as well. I think the garden and visiting farms were high on the list of everybody's priorities.
Before you get off of this subject.
Yep.
I know these are the specific locations that you guys already talked about doing gardens, but what's going on with the center school? Is that a possible? Like, I always look at that and go, what a waste. Is there a garden, I mean, as far as having a community garden area there? Is that something anybody talked
So
about?
there is a group, and I don't know what it's called, but it's something like the center school.
Vision and
What
committee.
should we do with this
Yeah.
building committee?
Is
Yeah,
there a specific
Yeah.
committee?
yes, yeah.
There was a survey, you should have filled it out.
That was in the school.
What is that?
No, I only got it because someone sent it to me.
There's been about 4 RFPs in the last couple years.
So there are proposals going.
They're trying to figure out what to do with it, and I think that it would be hard to say, yeah, let's put a garden in when we don't know what's going to happen
Right.
with the building.
Yeah, like it might get
It's
sold.
for
it
sale,
might
right?
be Torn
Yeah,
down.
it's been for sale. The problem is like the amount of money that it would take to make it usable was just.
Right.
Got
There's
that great
asbestos in there?
asbestos in there, yeah.
Lead is everything.
You can like, when you stand in the attic, you can like see the sky through the roof.
How it's bad. Yeah.
It just,
Carry
it
on.
needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
Well, that school down on River Road, that was sold for a very little amount. The guy who bought that
Yeah,
was like nothing.
it was like a symbolic $10 or something,
Oh,
He's-
really?
He's putting the money in there to
Yeah,
make apartments out of it.
right?
So they can't expect to get very much for it because, it's like you're saying, but
Yeah.
that's gonna be someone else's decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
it'd be a good location.
it
Was
was
central, I mean, it
Yeah,
helps
just-
working, that's a real part of it, but
right.
like, if it were to be a business, it'd
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
You could just bulldoze the building, put a huge garden there with parking.
There's been so many
Playground.
ideas floated, like what to do with that building, and they just.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem is the money to fix it.
And there is a large group in town that do not want that building torn down.
Because it's historical.
Yeah. So it's like. That's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I just get to
I just
care
love
about
to
all
see a
of
coffee
it.
shop someday.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like a coffee shop slash like farmer's market
Yeah.
type thing or like.
Okay.
I'm like, we should make it like a used bookstore,
Yeah.
like a cafe.
I'm there.
At a bar.
Cause you gotta go
Or
up,
a bar.
you gotta go
No,
upstairs.
if it's an and a bar, you could have coffee, get a book, and then go to the third floor and have a cocktail.
Yeah,
It's on the survey, tavern,
Do a rooftop.
one of the tavern there.
You know, the things like the money that was put into the town hall, for example, was controversial.
Yeah,
You know, and that was not bringing the building back from the dead, it was.
They did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I think. And that's historical.
But,
Can't keep them all.
yeah, you can't, keep on, and I guess it's also, you know, it's it's much further gone, as you said, you can. You know,
At the least reasons.
well ventilated attic.
Mm. All right.
So-
One question.
Okay, so, okay, so we just got this one more thing. Do you remember last spring, I guess, Tamsin Flanders from FairCog is working on a revised or updating the Whately overall plan. And she wanted us to review the sort of the farm or ag portion of it. And so how many, we can send this around electronically, right?
yeah, I printed it, I
Okay.
did some bit,
Oh, did we all get one?
yeah.
No. I got one.
Thank you, Troy.
Work,
Oh, it was, yes, I just asked her to.
They did this fine work?
Not me. That's not.
Oh, is this for the planning board?
This is,
This is
the
purple.
class.
Yeah, this is Tamsin
Yeah.
Flanders is working on Whately's
It
sort of.
looks very good. You know,
So we don't need to take the time to read this right now, but I think we should discuss it next month. So if everybody can
Yeah.
just kind of review
Sure.
this and mark it up. And maybe, you know, I'll communicate with Tamsin and see if she wants to come to the meeting in December, and maybe we could offer any feedback, or if we don't, you know, if we feel like there's a lot of feedback, maybe there's no reason for her to come. But so just review that, sound off, and try to get a vibe and see if it's worth Tamsin coming back in to talk. And so. Without any question, yeah.
asked us some 10 minutes ago. The landscape architecture work that's been proposed, did the designer have a list of plants or proposed plants or anything?
I think.
I mean, usually they would say, oh, we'll put this over here and that over there and whatever.
Right, they did, I mean, and.
The one I had said, not this one, the other one you went around had some,
Okay,
like a, you know, a broad
I mean,
explanation of what they.
if we're gonna, of course, there could be certainly revisions and plants and everything, but if we knew a sense of the plantings, we'd at least get a handle on costs and all that.
yeah, well, okay, it's not on this. So one of the bits of feedback that I offered was that the list of plants, which I don't see here, should also have the common names. He had a list of plants and it was all the Latin names.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, I remember Carex's sedge, you know, and
Yeah,
that's-
like, well, you have them both, geez.
yeah, you guess what, so if you were to come, Bill, on Thursday. You could see the list of plants, and I believe you could review the Latin names and the.
Where is that gonna be again here?
Right here,
At what time?
6 o'clock, Thursday, yeah.
And
We'll see what we can do.
this one that I got had the paintings on it.
Oh, it did, okay.
Yeah, but it was all the Latin names.
It was, okay, so anyway, I suggested that he make that a little more accessible.
So the town is paying for the design, but what you were saying was that's grant. Yeah, that's, okay, that was my understanding.
Yeah,
That's-
this design, a lot, basically,
You gotta have
allows you
a-
to seek the funding.
Yeah, you can't seek funding without it's.
Yeah,
But the design was paid for through a grant, right?
almost entirely. There was a very small town match.
So theoretically, I mean, once we get this sort of tuned up and ready, so-called ready to go, could we seek CPC money for this?
For our match, I
Land
would say
use?
why not?
The CPC money is. I always felt like there were a lot of handcuffs, you know, there's limitations as to how it can get used.
But
You
there's
can't
those
find,
categories. There's those categories that you could interpret.
I mean,
Early park is for recreation to,
It's pretty open.
it's kind of open space. I mean, the CPC might be one source of funds that they would look at.
well, maybe we could talk to somebody on the committee there and see what their thoughts are. I don't know. No.
I didn't even know I was on the committee till tonight when I got an email from Tori, so I guess I'll learn more on next week.
I think I knew before you did.
No, I don't know if I'm on from this board or from the planning board.
It's not this board, because Sarah Cooper's on from this board. even
Well,
though
I'm
she's
Sarah
not on
Cooper.
This board.
Sarah Cooper is no longer on, I'm Sarah Cooper,
Oh, she's really?
yeah,
Oh, but that was short-lived.
yeah.
Wait, but she's back on the board now. She was off, now she's on. So
On what? What
she's
board?
back on the seat.
No, but she was,
Yeah, she was on the planning and you took
Yes.
her spot, but then she.
Oh, I'm talking to CPC.
I am too, I don't know how I got on it,
Okay.
whether it's, yeah.
Well, stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I got looped into an email from something else, but
Yeah, that's about all it takes.
yeah.
So when's our next meeting?
Well, we'll meet again in December, but we should get, we're gonna focus here some time on tidying up anything we need to tidy up with our right to farm signs.
Oh, I did talk to Garrett and he said wherever the town's fine.
Yeah, and you talked to him. He was pretty enthusiastic,
He
I
was.
guess. Yeah,
So I asked him, we wanna put them on like existing sign poles, he says, well, we can't, we got poles, we'll put them. I don't matter where you want to put them. Gave him 5 locations where to go. He was really into it, cause he showed me the right to farm sign for Hatfield there, he was really into it pretty good, so.
right, and
And he
that's
said, bring the signs, we'll put them up, so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about putting them up.
perfect.
So
Right.
he said, we got poles, so if you need poles.
Did he say anything about the dimensions?
I told him the size 18 by 24.
Okay.
I said, no problem, the dimensions are.
Okay, okay. So do we have the final draft of the artwork here?
Was the last meeting,
Okay, so that is the final draft of the artwork?
yeah, that has the colors, what the colors are gonna look like, I do have a copy, I'll bring it to, when it stays.
Okay, okay,
But, that was the final one that we all looked at and approved the last meeting.
okay, and then do you have?
But it says where the colors are gonna go. It's not in the color, so I don't know if the town's gonna. I know we're trying to figure out, you were gonna ask Peter.
Yeah, I talked to Peter and he said as long, well, so, I mean, there was a little bit of question of can we get the final art, the proof done without a down payment? And Peter said, well, if the select board can at least see what you got, see if it's close.
They won't do the down payment.
Then,
right on.
okay, but what I'm saying, Dave, is if we can show the select
Yeah,
board
yeah.
what you got,
Yeah,
I think then we can write a check for the down payment.
right,
Good enough.
Yeah, and then and so make sure, do you have written down of the list of the 5 locations that you're?
No, basically, we need to, discuss the 2 ends of River Road.
Okay,
We talked about near the school, near the transfer station and Haydenville Road. It's like
I
the,
also said, I'm coming from Aidendale, Williamsburg, there by the reservoir, right there and going away from Whately.
Lately Williams,
They
really,
thought that was a good location and above, coming from Conway by the reservoirs up there. I guess that's kind of Whately Road or.
yeah, Whately Road, Conway,
Mhm.
Conway Road.
That is a nice word.
Very, very original.
You know, town lines. that was, we're looking for the quick signs.
Okay, so if, so I know it seemed like we had requested funding that would cover three signs.
Yeah.
What I wanna ask the select board is maybe there's a couple extra doubloons rolling around the highway budget or something or somewhere. And maybe we could just go ahead and get 5. And if we can, maybe they'll buy a couple more out of the general fund. And then we're just kind of done, we don't have to think about it, but, we should figure it out because I gotta do budget stuff by the end of the year, and if we wanna do more signs next year, I gotta get it
Yeah,
in.
it's not a problem, they said they can.
Yeah, we'll own
The only, I gotta ask them because, this is the original quote with the poles and everything, it was up to, without the poles. I think it was with the 5 signs, without the poles, it was $1,220.
the.
That's 60 cents.
I think we worked it out
But the
that,
3 signs, I
that
think.
3 signs with design was like $970.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, so if they can find us a couple $100.
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, I think, it was Julie, like I said, Julie Wagner was gonna be here tonight, and, not that she can, you know, write a check, but, I suspect they'll find a few $100 to get it.
they have a little thing on the bottom, I don't think it's a big thing where this proposal may be redrawn, if not accepted in 30 days, but I told him that, we were meeting, the last time we met was in May, that we just met again in September, October. He understood, well, yeah, that's committees,
Yeah.
he understood that, so.
Okay, well, so. Corey, we should, so what now, top 5 spots where we want signs. Both ends of River Road,
Yeah,
that's 2.
Hayden,
Haydenville Williamsburg line is 3.
Conway.
Conway line on, Whately Road.
Yeah. And then I think the school is a great idea,
Okay,
for a 5th one's it's right in the middle of town, right?
yeah, and there's a lot of people driving
Right.
through there.
Are you talking about are you talking about the new school? I mean,
Yeah, at the elementary school, yeah, just as like I don't know, Doug brought that up last meeting,
Yeah,
and it's like, it's gonna get the most visibility.
Yeah, especially young people.
Yeah, get
Children.
kids, they can ask.
Especially putting a garden in the back, maybe that'll
Yeah.
generate some
Sure.
more interest.
absolutely.
They'll see the right to farm,
I hate to be rude, but I gotta get going.
okay, thanks for coming.
Emergency, thank you guys.
Oh, boy, okay, good luck.
This is broke, I'm gonna be email.
Yep. Yep.
See you, Jen.
Yeah, I think we still have a quorum, so sometimes, you lose your quorum, but,
Well, she's not signed it yet.
that's right, she's not even a member, it just, a few years ago when we were barely kind of keeping things.
Only 5 of us here, that's fully enough, right?
Yeah, oh, no, we're fine, we're fine.
I would have told you if you didn't.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay, so that's the top 5 spots, we can tell the select, so, we'll get that picture over to the select board, those 5 spots. And maybe we can ask if they could find, I don't know, what do we think, 5?
so roughly it'd be like,
Another $300.
Yeah, another 3 to 4.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's been a year or so. this, I think this one was done in February of last year, this year, and then we said, well, we didn't have the money, they did another quote, I think that was in April, so.
Yeah, it might change
Yeah,
by a few bucks or something.
I don't know, because of cost with the tariffs, with the signs and paint and everything else.
well, I've hauled a lot of scrap irrigation pipe up to Greenfield, and so there's plenty of aluminum for the town to work with, I'm sure. They could even more, but.
No, he was really good, he understood.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, they do a lot of road signs up there.
for a lot of towns and big signs.
Okay, so I think we have now everything we need, Corey, maybe if you wanna write something up and, I can peek at it, and then we'll send it to the select board for consideration. And like I say, I think if we ask for 3 to 4, $400 for 2 additional signs.
We really haven't used any of our budget money. It's
No,
kept
I
on
know, we
rolling
haven't.
over, but.
And then you lose it, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's something.
And I would think that what we've gone through and with talking about how do we get things published, papers, copies, we should just put a budget in for $1,000.
Yeah,
And then we have to add more, because of the sign thing. Well, it's a quick add-on.
yep, depending on the higher, so that is sort of the last thing we we're gonna talk about was potential budget items. So, if, I wanna budget more money for signs, if the select board really just wants to stick with the funding the way it is. And a few $100 here and there for things like renovating the school garden, and I think if it's an ongoing thing and there's a few $100 all the time to help out with whatever's going on up there. I think that'd be a good thing to have in the budget. I know Amy was really good about printing and folding all our flyers I think maybe Tori folded some, I didn't ever folded a one myself, but. So things like that, we should have a little bit of money budgeted for. And I have to turn that in December. So anybody who thinks of anything that we should budget some money for, bring it next month.
And our current budget is 1,000.
For the sign project, it was 1,000.
Okay.
And the only other line item in the budget, I think, was to cover Tori's.
Okay.
Yes, I had. Yeah, just some printing, signs, school, and then, if we wanna. We should just budget like. $300 a year to get things into the school. And whether we use it or not, but it's basically $75 for a piece of paper. And I would like to see our flyer go in the spring, and I'd like to do something about the signs. Does anybody know what the December scoop deadline is?
Oh, it's like 3 months before, it was like September
Yeah, but is it like December 1st? Is that when it
or
comes out?
March. Oh, when does it land? I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I think like March stuff will be due in December or June.
I would have to.
Okay, yeah, anyway, so I should tune into when the scoop deadlines are.
I can,
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna come see you tomorrow and no. I'll come see you on Wednesday.
I mean, you can come see me tomorrow, but you can't be by yourself.
Yes. But that's gonna be here.
And the door will be locked.
Sure.
That's right, I need one, I still need a map for this CPC application.
So we do the school,
So I gotta come see.
so we'll put something in about like Joanne Danny, he helped us with this,
We asked Abby,
he told me our time.
yeah, so whatever, if I.
Local artist. I can say that. local
That's
artist.
true. In fact, that should be, maybe that should be mentioned in the communication to the select board that Dave solicited the help of local artists.
Joanne Danny,
Joanne, right?
yeah, Danny,
Okay.
Then
Danny. D
ENNEHY.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the design and that anything we put in the school, we'll have to have a thanks for her. Yeah, great. So that's kind of like all I got.
Next meeting.
Next meeting, second Tuesday in December is the what?
The 16th,
No, the 9th.
planning board.
You're on it. What's the 16th?
Yeah, in this room, so that's
The
out.
9th
It's
is
the
second
9th.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
It goes the first.
Oh, yeah, you're
meeting
right.
is
I was
second.
in the wrong month.
Oh, yeah, that's a common problem in our office. Okay, all right, well, I think that.
So we do we say.
What'd you guys say for the next meeting?
The 9th.
The 9th. That's a Tuesday, right?
Second Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's plan with that. Maybe Eric will make it if his kids stay healthy.
Yeah.
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.